The average lawn should be mowed about once a week. However, many people don't follow this rule due to time constraint, weather, or forgetfulness. Even though mowing the lawn can be a chore and unwanted task, there are many advantages to it, such as time to think, peacefulness, or making your home or property looking nice. This speech will go over three main points: correct equipment, correct methods of cutting and trimming, and finally, correct fertilization and caretaking. For these reasons, I believe mowing the lawn is an important task, yet a fun endeavor. First, the equipment of the lawn. Equipment is the extension of the caretaker's hands. A small lawn, 1/4 of an acre, needs smaller equipment. A lawn in a smaller community or urban road housing area have smaller models. Some communities also have noise complaints, which need a quieter, more efficient model. The best model for this situation would be an electric mower by the name of LM2101. The mower is a battery powered and less than half the noise of a gas model. Says find the right lawnmower for your type of yard. The model also doesn't need purchasing for fuel, but it also does need charging of the battery. The model is listed at $500 at most retailers near you. Trimming won't be much of a problem either with this model. While you are using this model, you are the one pushing it yourself, so you can get as close to the nicks and crannies of your yard as you need. Large lawns, one half acre or more, require different needs. These types of lawns are usually larger and don't have difficulty with noise, and have hilly areas or trees and rocks. With this kind of demand, a riding lawnmower is recommended. Models like the John Deere X350/42 for $3,200 or the Woods FZ22 zero-turn mower for $10,000 are great ideas for a large yard. Both these models are fuel-based engine tractors with horsepower well over what is needed for this job. When I say zero-turn, I simply mean it is a front-wheel driven mower with the rear two wheels not powered, so it's just for stability. This gives the mower a full 360-degree maneuverability turning system. I have personally used the Woods on our family farm in Castleton here, and it is a very good model. It's very good for large areas, probably an acre or larger. But the John Deere is very good for our home personal yard. It's nice and a sturdy tractor so that you can get a good clean cut instead of a large area. Trimming with these kind of tractors is more of a personal preference. Usually these areas are very big and you can't always trim everywhere with the property. But if you were to decide you wanted to trim, you should get a handheld gas-powered or electric-powered weed eater or trimmer. These can be found at most hardware stores. Now that we have our equipment, let's take a look at our yard. Correct ways of cutting and trimming are essential for the health and the look of your yard. There are many ways of cutting the lawn itself, such as a back and forth, or an even more impressive racetrack method coined by Cade Merrigan, a local lawn enthusiast. Although these are methods all achievable, they are not all correct. According to how the groundskeepers at the MLB stadiums do it, the grass turf should be cut in a diagonal pattern or alternated between a checkered pattern. This helps aerate the ground as well as keeps the grass growing with a very clean cut look. Next is the height of the cut. Experts say that the grass should be cut about 1/3 down of the stalk or the blade of the grass. This keeps the grass from dying mid-season due to overexposure to sun or water due to natural elements. However, when the season comes to an end, you're going to want to cut your grass about half the size it is at the time, particularly after the first freeze of the season. This is recommended by how the groundskeepers at the MLB stadiums do it, because it opens the top of the stalks for the sun to get in the spring months for a good summer growing season. If you are wondering how to change the height on your mower deck, don't worry, it's a pretty simple task. If you have a push mower, just look on the back wheel. Right above the wheel is a lever. Usually it's about a 2-inch to 3-inch lever. You can use that to move the deck there. And on most riding mowers, there is a little knob near the seat that you can turn to change the deck height. And now finally, let's look at our last point for mowing the lawn. The last part of the process is fertilizing and caretaking. Fertilization can come down to many forms of the lawn. The most common method is the trimming method. This is when the shavings of the grass are spread equally around the yard. This lets the soil get decomposed grass within it. This is the most cost-effective way of fertilization, and it is also the easiest application method. Another method you could use is dry fertilizer application. This requires a fertilizer spreader, which you might have to go out and buy. If you have a push mower, you're going to want a handheld system. And if you have a riding lawnmower, you're probably going to want a pull-behind system. ScottsLawnFood.com describes this as grass food. They market it in these bags. It says basically grass food right on the front of it. You buy these bags, you put the pellets into your spreader, and you can spread them equally throughout your yard. Brad Sinner, a local farmer, says, in regards to fertilizing, do it. It keeps my lawn great, and it'll keep yours too. Although fertilizing is an important job of keeping your lawn healthy, it is definitely not the only part. Other factors include correct watering and correct drainage. Grass needs to be watered at just like any other plant. However, grass is very good at retaining its water after a rain or after you even water. To prevent this, you need to have a good drainage system. This may entail just a slope in your land going away from your house. Away from your house is a big deal there. You don't want your house to flood after a rain or after a water of the grass. Or you could even have a drainage system underneath the sod or the grass. A lot of MLB stadiums do have this method because it is a very effective, however costly method. Lawn care seems like such an easy task and even a chore to some, but after we have explored it, there is much more that meets the eye. The experience of mowing and caring for your yard is like no other profession, but it is taken up by many. With as much information as we have on the subject, it is unfortunate that people still don't know how to care for their yards. Though these 3 points of correct equipment, correct ways of cutting and trimming, and correct fertilization and caretaking, we have seen all of the major components of the mowing world. In conclusion, mowing the lawn is an important task, yet fun endeavor. Thank you.